Hey everybody, time for another update. Today is a big day. So as you can see here, there's my engine with that painted valve cover. Assassin, I don't know what your name is. Down here, see these sort of shiny spots? Yeah, I kind of forgot to sand those and degrease them. I mean, I degreased them, but not really thoroughly, and I didn't sand them at all. And so the paint flaked off there, and I didn't bother using an undercoat, because, I mean, if I'm going to get it redone at some point, what's the point, right? Anyway, you see this is shiny. That's because there's no O-ring on here. So that's just leaking like mad, but I don't really care, because it's like, what, maybe an ounce a year? It's just power steering. I can do without. Anyway, if you notice this is a gift from the girlfriend. Wonderful gift, thank you very much. Keeps this wonderful paint job, which, you know, is not bad for a 30-something-year-old car. You know, from getting even worse with dirt and grease. Anyway, I imagine you saw that radiator on the floor. That's a radiator off a donor car. That's the original radiator up here. So this is getting replaced today. Oh, that's still hot. Ow. I just drove to the auto parts store to buy myself some antifreeze because we didn't have any. So anyway, yeah, radiator's getting changed today. The upper hose is getting changed. I'm not bothering to do the lower hose because, well, it's out of the way and it's kind of hard to get to. The new radiator comes with its own drain or overflow tank, which is sitting up there. I'm also doing a belt change while I'm at it, because, I mean, I've got to pull everything off, so might as well change the belts while I'm there. So, yeah, I'm going to get on with that now. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, everybody. I got the fan shrouds, the fan and clutch assembly out. I got all the old belts out. He's got them over there. That's my little bro. He's got the old stuff. Oy. Oh, I don't want to crack that fan. I got an extra, but I don't want it. Oh, and I got the pulley. It's over here. Now, this was black. It still is. A little bit on some sides. But, yeah. You know, clean that off with some degreaser, a wire brush. You'll be fine. And this is what the front of the engine looks like without a fan or pulley. And that's a new water pump also. I kind of messed up my sealant job there because I replaced it. But, you know, that's how things go when you do things all by yourself. So next off is that lower radiator hose. Then out comes this radiator. In goes the new one. Then we got some coolant or antifreeze over there, and oh, and all the new belts, obviously, because I was doing a belt change. I don't have enough hands to obviously film and do this at the same time, but you know, it's just how things go. Alright. Hey, so sorry about the late at night posting. I got a little bit under the weather. But I did manage to do, look at that, that's a new radiator. I didn't bother putting the old shroud back on, just because I remember the way that this one was set up on the other car. They had the shroud zip tied to it, and I just didn't feel that was safe. So I didn't bother putting it back on. Honestly, it runs the same temperature. If I had the shroud, probably, 10 degrees less, not a big deal. But this looks a lot nicer, and it's dirty, too. Imagine if that was all shiny, because I, polished it. That would be beautiful. But, yeah, no, I'm not feeling too great. I actually just drove it and got some gas. So it's pretty hot, and I'm just, checking for leaks. What you do. Nothing there. That's leftover stuff from when my water pump went. So that's pretty clean down there. New belts. The old ones were worn so thin and stretched so much that there was about an inch and a half of extra slack compared to the new ones. So, yeah, they hadn't been replaced in Probably 7 years. They're ancient. What else? I mean, you guys have seen this valve cover already. It's a little dirty. I used it as an armrest. Oh, the water overflow, or yeah, I think it's called the overflow can. It's not bubbling right now, but when the engine's on, it bubbles. Because there's still air in the system. Mind you, I did this yesterday. Yesterday, the day before, I can't exactly remember. So it still bubbles, so it's, just got to keep checking on that, and I'll fill it when it's finally done bubbling. What else? It's a very shiny radiator. Oh, the AC condenser core mounts up. See how there's nothing there? I was supposed to put a zip tie through it, and I did the first time around. The second time around, because I had to take it off and readjust it so I could get that hose on, I said screw it, so I haven't done it yet, but I have to do it up again. I'll probably do that in like a half hour, 15 minutes, before I go places. So yeah, it mounts up through the same holes, so just make sure that when you put the screw back through on a new radiator, you put it through the AC condenser if you have the AC. It's hard to see unless you stick your head down there, or in this case a camera. I've yet to find anything to hold this battery in place. It just kind of moves. I'm thinking about bungee cord, but I don't know where to stick it. I don't want to stick it on that metal vac line. That'd suck. What else? Oh, so these hatch struts, which I put in, you'll see that in a second, are not the factory ones. Are not the kind that you get, and that broke open the other day, which sucks. But these struts I ordered off of Rock Auto, and they sent me the wrong ones. But they were so freaking cheap that I didn't bother sending them back. I just made them work. I went to Home Depot, and see there, like, that's the original mounting hole where the struts are supposed to go. That's where I mounted them. There's these little holes that hold this panel on, where you put the little clips through. And if you investigate further, you'll find that those holes are large enough to fit this, but they're not threaded. But there are holes over here where you can access stuff, where I managed to slip a nut in on the edge of my finger, and I tightened this down on it, and that's been working perfectly so far. But over here I had the issue, and as you can see, it kind of messed it up, but honestly, this panel was breaking apart to begin with. That's what happens when a car sits in the sun for 7 years. But this usually has a little cover, and this wouldn't clear the cover, so I just pulled the cover off. And that leaves me with the additional thing that, now that it clears and it works, and my hatch struts, it doesn't open as far as a regular 280ZX hatch. It's about a foot shorter than it should be, but I just need to throw a backpack in there occasionally. But it'll close, and it will, assuming I can get my key, also open. And those are heavy-duty hatch struts. They're the wrong ones, but they're, super heavy-duty, high, whatever you want to call them. But they were like $10. They wanted $25 each at Riley's around the corner from my house, which is ridiculous. Oh, I never mentioned these door skins. Obviously, they're not the right color, but they weren't even the right size. They were off a 2+2. I managed to make them fit. I pulled the actual vinyl off and reupholstered, and you can kind of see a bit of a messed up staple job here, but very little visible. I pulled them off the doors of a 2+2 that my parts car that are in super nice condition, considering their age, and I just stuck them on and reupholstered them. I'm probably going to redo that in, carpet or vinyl one of these days. That's the condition of the car so far. It needs a paint job. We all know that. Stereo you've seen. All this stuff you've seen. Oh, AFM, I followed this guide online. I'll see if I can't get the link again to do cleaning and repositioning of the actual graphite plates that are in here. I'll put up the link again if you guys want to see it. So yeah, I just resealed that with some what was that, liquid nails? Something sealant, some kind of sealant. Didn't really get all of the oxidation off of here, all the, varnish and whatnot. But, that was just, fine grit sandpaper and a Dremel here and there. Made it nice and shiny. Next up, probably new boots. Definitely this one. This one is super hard. Paint that. See if I can get some of this cleaned up and shiny again. Yeah. That's my car. Comment, subscribe, rate, whatever. Do your thing.